Looking for these better days.
It is Tuesday, April 14th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. The NBA play-in round gets underway tonight, and a big overnight in Major League Baseball last night, but a big night for our MLB Game Center and brand new MLB database up on betterday.com. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. But Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. And Mackenzie, tonight begins the play-in round of the NBA playoffs. The Miami Heat at the Charlotte Hornets, currently up on FanDuel. Charlotte, a 5.5 point favorite, total of 228.5. Portland at Phoenix. Phoenix, a 3.5 point favorite, total of 216.5. Now, you have previously said on this show and others how unders rule the day in the NBA play-in round. Do you still believe the unders are the way to play these games tonight?
I believe we looked this up, and the double elimination unders, as logic would argue, are the better subset, but I believe all unders are good in the play-in tournament. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're right. The unders dominate in the play-in round. I looked this up in just the first round. Like the first games, not the Friday games, like just the first games
Yeah.
in the play-in round. 13-7 to the under, with an average total in those games. The average total is 223.9. There's an average of 220.6 being scored in those 20 games since we started the play-in round. So 13-7 to the under in these first games here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, but think about what you just said, though. Those totals are low. I mean, this is a record scoring season where an average offense, like the Miami Heat, can score 140 per game. The fact that they actually have it lined at 220, exactly in line with playoff history, shows you how much differently they think the playoff game is. Unfortunately, that was like our big secret in the gambling community, that it wasn't normal basketball. The
Yeah.
market has made a huge adjustment for that.
Yeah, like I said, the average total 223.9. Tonight, Miami and Charlotte's 228.5, but
Under.
Phoenix and Portland is 216.5. Tomorrow,
216 is low.
Orlando.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a 3.5 point drop from the open.
Yep. And tomorrow, Orlando, Philly is 220.5. Golden State, LA, 220.5. So the market is clearly pricing in this under history. Well, speaking of history, we looked up the history of the play-in round, and now I'm just going to focus on the first round, Mackenzie. So the Tuesday, Wednesday, right? The 7, 8, and 9, 10 games.
Do they
in
need a
both.
sponsor so that we know which games we're talking about? The
Well,
like Taco Bell opening taco
I mean,
Tuesday.
I honestly think there is a sponsor for like this play-in tournament. Like if you go to like NBA.com, do they have like the whatever play-in tournament, I think they call it? I don't even know. Like honestly, I don't care.
Castor Oil.
Everyone's like really bothered this year about how it's like the first time that all the playoff games are nationally televised by the national TV and streaming partners, so that the home broadcasts don't even get the first round games. Whereas in the past, you could still watch like the Knicks on MSG for the first round. Like you can still watch the Lakers on Sportsnet for the first round, and then the next second round and whatever is only national. But now this year, there's no local broadcasts for the first round, so everyone's bothered by it. So
That's
big
terrible.
money
I,
grabs.
I agree with those people that are bothered by it.
Me too.
You could make the argument, and I do, that there's the preseason, there's the extended preseason, which some people call the regular season, and then for a brief moment in the spring, you get real basketball. They should get one series where Mike Breen can say bang in what, blue and orange.
Well, that's what they used to do, but not the case this year. So anyway, here's the history of the 7, 8, 9, 10 games. Okay, home teams 14-6 straight up,
Good.
but Mackenzie 8, 11, and 1 against the spread.
That is not good. That is not good.
So we gave you the under total, which was 13-7 to the under. 14-6 straight up for the home teams, 8, 11, and 1 against the spread for the home teams. That's wild. When the road team has won the games, the 6 times the road team has won, 6-0 against the spread. So,
Right.
maybe there's something too, as we always say, like in the NBA playoffs, right? It's like just pick the winner, and like it's like that's how you pick the winner
Especially in the
and
modern
cover the spread.
NBA with scoring up and totals up as well. Like there's just less games that you care about 3 points either way. They do pick it up, by the way, home teams in the second round of the play-in, if you want to call it
Hmm.
that, where they are 6-4.
Okay.
So it kind of makes sense. The fatigue sets in.
Yeah. And it's okay. And maybe not so much the favorites in the first round covering the spread, because that's not the case. Because the 13 times that a favorite has won the game in the first 2 days, only 7-5-1 against the spread. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Some other historic points here. 10 seeds just don't make the playoffs. I know that Miami did it last year, but that was the first time a 10 seed ever made the playoffs.
Yep.
So if you're like looking at the markets on, to make the playoffs, and we could look at those bets currently up on FanDuel, like don't bet on one of these 10 seeds to make the playoffs. Although, I mean, I could make an argument for the Golden State Warriors now
They
that
have
Steph
Steph
is
Curry.
back,
They have
right?
Steph Curry. There's 2 wins away. I
So
don't see it.
odds for
But
the
maybe.
Warriors to make the playoffs plus 360. And the odds for the 10 seed in the Miami Heat, who, like I mentioned, did it last year, plus 470. If you're so inclined here. On the flip side, though, Mackenzie,
You know who didn't lose in the play-in?
who's
Wilt
that?
Chamberlain, because he scored 100 points in a real game.
You, you
I
know, you
digress.
know, on the flip side of that 10 seed, 7 seeds make the playoffs. 7 seeds.
Ooh, are the
It,
Sixers the exception to the rule? Maybe.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Like
Pretty
I
beat
don't I
up.
don't know. If you look at the 7 seeds, yeah, they are making the playoffs. Like they have all made the playoffs. The 7 seed in the playing round,
You know
10,
who
10,
made it
10.
as a seventh seed and actually scared the Suns that year? Kobe Bryant, because he scored 81 points in a real game. Just for your information.
7 seeds this year, the Phoenix Suns and the 76ers. Odds up on FanDuel for the 76ers to make the playoffs, minus 290. And for the Phoenix Suns to make the playoffs, minus 650.
Mm.
Wow. Wow.
Ooh.
Again, all
Minus
10 7
650.
seeds, all 10 7 seeds in the history of the playing round have gone on to make the
10 and
actual
0.
playoffs. So
I would probably take the minus 650 before I would think about laying the minus 250 with the Sixers, 260. But still, both of them are pretty pricey.
I actually am interested in the no on the Sixers, believe it or not. The no
What?
price on the
Yeah,
Sixers is
that
plus
seems pricey.
205.
Plus 205.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got a 1/3 chance. All
But
right, so I
I
think they
think you're
lose to the
better off
Magic.
just
I actually like the Magic in that game, and then
yeah,
I like the Hornets in that game. Yeah, the
me
Sixers
too.
going. Sixers are going out.
Yeah. I think that you're better off though, probably doing a 2 leg, like a rollover
You
parlay.
probably do better. You probably do
Just
better. Shop
bet the
around.
mat, bet the Magic at even money or plus 105 or whatever, and then lay whatever juice because the Hornets going on the road. Are they going to be favorites in Philadelphia? Like, what's that line, Mackenzie? Hornets going to Philly.
Hornets. I mean, they're 5.5 hosting Miami. I'm gonna say the Hornets are 2-point favorites in that game.
All right. So then if they're 2 point favorites in that game, you got to figure they're probably like minus 125 or so. Um, give me
Yeah,
that two. Give me
plus
that 2 leg
105,
rollover.
minus 130. Yeah, you're probably doing better with the mechanical parlay.
So if I just priced it out right now, I'm just like blindly doing this right now. If I just took, let's see, plus 102 on FanDuel, and then give me
Minus
what do we say?
130.
We're doing like a minus 130.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
maybe two was maybe it was too expensive.
You think that's too expensive? All right, let's
Yeah,
call it
maybe.
like minus. You're looking at like plus. That's like plus 265 or so.
Okay,
And
so
what
that's
did I?
better. It's better. It's
And
better
what did I
than
say?
the yes price on this or the no price on the Sixers
Yeah.
to miss.
Yes, you're getting better than the plus 205. I
Yeah,
plus
plus
Yes.
265 is actually pretty significantly better.
Yeah. So there you have it. You're better off money line rollover on the Magic tomorrow. And then when the Hornets beat the Heat, Hornets over the 76ers, as the Sixers, in our opinion at least, Mackenzie, will become the first 7 seed to not make the playoffs in the play-in round. You like any props for the games tonight? Like, are we doing Con Knipple threes? Like, what are we thinking about the 2 games tonight? Who's going to stand out from these 4 teams?
You know, you could call me a hater to bring up Bam Adebayo again, but 16 and a half points career versus Charlotte Hornets in 29 games. The last time he played them was 2024, where he scored 8 points. Give me Bam Adebayo under. You know, let me sip my haterade in peace. It's the playoffs. This is the best. It's a 60% prop throughout the spring. Best player. Everyone wants to bet over. Give me the under.
Well, for more player prop edges, you can certainly check out our NBA Game Center up on betterday.com, powered by our friends over at Dunks and Threes. You'll get the game projections, player prop projections, and all the player prop edges, as the best lines are there for you from a variety of different sports books. Speaking of player prop projections, our Major League Baseball Game Center just continues to deliver.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right. Turn $5 into $250 in bonus bets just for getting started. And when every possession matters in the playoffs, FanDuel makes it easy to get closer to the action. From player props and your favorite stars to all the tools you need to back them up, FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips, so you can check stats, trends, and matchups all in one place and make your picks with confidence. It's everything you need all in one app. So don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/Believe. That's BLEAV to get started. FanDuel, play your game. 21 plus select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus DC, Kentucky, Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org and call 800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 877-770-7867 in Louisiana.
If you haven't done so already, you guys got to check out all the tools and resources that we have up on betterday.com. The MLB Game Center, it just continues to deliver for our subscribers. And I want to shout out a couple of our members who, in our community chat yesterday, were sending betting slips and talking about all the prop wins. Tim, 7-1 on props using the MLB Game Center. Paulie, 5 for 5 on MLB props using the Game Center. Taylor cashing some props. Let's see. Red was 7-1, I think, that I read for Red. Like, people were just crushing it with the MLB prop projections up on betterday.com. Look, if you go to the MLB Game Center page, right, sign up, become a Better Day Insider or Premium member, and on the MLB Game Center page, you can click on each game. It's going to give you the projections for that game. You can look at the box score. You can look at all the props. But if you don't want to do that much legwork, well, at the top of the page, when the lineups are set every day, the top projections are there for you. The strongest plays, the sharpest plays are there for you, and those continue to deliver. Why? Because they are based on underlying metrics, not on sports books lines and all this other stuff, the hit rates. We give you the hit rates just because we give you that extra layer of information so you know how a guy has done on their specific prop lately. But the projections are based on all the underlying metrics, all the data that doesn't go into the box score. And so a guy swinging a hot bat, it's going to project him to do well. And guys like Jordan Walker and they just continue to deliver. Gunnar Henderson was a top projection last night. He comes through going over his hits plus runs plus RBIs. So check out everything we have there up on our MLB Game Center. And now we have just launched yesterday our MLB First Five and Strikeout Database. Big shout out to our boy Kevin Rogers for the assist on the information, all the data input there. But if you go to the MLB Game Center, you'll find a link right at the top of the page on the banner for the first 5 innings and strikeout prop database. We have every team's first 5 inning records. You can click on a team and get their entire game log, including the starting pitcher of the game, the opposing starting pitcher, what the score was after 5 innings, what the final score of the game was, both pitchers, strikeout props, who the umpire was in that game. Then you can click on the tab for the team strikeout data, and you could see how the opponent's starting pitcher strikeout prop has done against that particular team. Same thing. Click on a team, get their entire game logs. You can also see how the opposing pitcher has done if they're a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher, the team's total strikeout numbers, and then you can click on the pitcher K-prop tab, and it gives you the starting pitchers in the league with their K-prop records, like Cam Schlittler, the New York Yankees, 4-0 to the over on his K-prop with 30 total strikeouts. You can click on that pitcher's name and get their entire game log with the results. So much data that would normally take you hours to research across a variety of different sites. It's all available right there at one click at your fingertips up on betterday.com. We got the lines. You can click on the live odds and scores page. That's always free. But sign up, become a Better Day Insider or Premium member. Give us a try. Check out the MLB Game Center because our members are just cashing. And I love when, our members are sending us bet slips and talking about how much they're cashing using all the tools up on betterday.com. Let's take a look at the schedule for today in Major League Baseball. Overs went 9-1 yesterday. Let's see if it continues here today. Some notable pitching matchups. Nolan McLean back on the mound for the New York Mets. Strikeout machine, young stud for them at the Dodgers. Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers. Shane McClanahan back on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays. They're minus 143 favorites in Chicago against the White Sox. Jacob Misiorowski on the mound for the Brewers, hosting the Toronto Blue Jays. Milwaukee minus 126. Kevin Gausman going for Toronto there. A couple of other notable pitchers to keep an eye on. Merrill Kelly makes his season debut for the Arizona Diamondbacks in Baltimore against Trevor Rogers and the Orioles, currently up on FanDuel. Baltimore, a minus 149 favorite. Over on the ice, the Eastern Conference playoff field is set. Now, there's still some seeding things that could play themselves out, but the Philadelphia Flyers yesterday clinched the final spot in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. So your 8 teams will be Buffalo, Tampa Bay, and Montreal in the Atlantic, Carolina, Pittsburgh, and Philly in the Metro. Wild cards right now, Boston and Ottawa. So only 3 teams out of the Metropolitan as both wild cards come from the Atlantic Division. Over in the Western Conference, the 8 teams are set as well as the Los Angeles Kings clinch a playoff spot with a win last night over the Kraken. We cashed the Kings minus a goal and a half in that one. So it'll be Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota in the Central, Vegas, Edmonton, and Anaheim in the Pacific, Utah and LA, your current wild cards. But again, still seeding yet to be determined because a couple of teams are really jumbled up here, especially in that Pacific Division. So we wait and see the conclusion of the NHL regular season. On the schedule for tonight, games that could matter for seeding purposes. Kings are at the Canucks, and the Ducks are at the Minnesota Wild. All right, that'll wrap up this episode of Better Day. We'll recap tonight's games, preview tomorrow's games in the NBA play-in round on tomorrow's pod. We'll have more Major League Baseball stuff as the week progresses. Don't forget, Colby and Jake will have their Off the Board podcast streaming live on the Better Day Twitter page and YouTube page this week. And for Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.